Hey everyone, and welcome to our show every Wednesday. My name is Michelle Marie. I am the owner and operator of Astrological Tarot. I am a Vedic and Western astrologer, as well as a tarot reader, and I am so glad that you guys are with us today. Thanks so much for joining.
And I'm Tanys Coughlan, and I'm the founder and operator of Twillow Lifestyle Community. I am a Reiki master, crystal master, and a Celtic Shamanic high priestess, as well as an oracle and reader. So welcome, 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 welcome.
Hi guys, I'm Renata Zimmer of Readings by Renata. I should start saying founder or something fancy, like you guys do. I'm a medical intuitive. I'm a healer. I know I don't say that often. I'm a psychic medium. I'm also a counselor and a coach. So you kind of get the best of all worlds with us. Thank you so much for being here.
Okay, well, we hope you guys are braving the retrogrades. Venus retrograde ends on the 29th, but Mercury retrograde is till February 3rd. So just kind of lay low on those days, because when the planets start to go direct, that's when we see a little bit of turbulence in those areas. So Venus rules love, relationships, and money. Okay, so during this time, you should have been maybe looking at that checkbook over the last year, looking at what expenses were going on in 2021 and revamping a few things. I hope you didn't call your ex, because that's not good. And don't do that during a retrograde. Unless you're calling to make amends and like sweep some stuff like away, like in, swaha. That's a good thing. But getting back is, and then I hope that, yeah. And I hope you're dealing with, just editing your emails, checking your speech. I'm a Gemini rising, so it definitely affects me. It's been affecting Renata, who's also a Virgo sun. Virgo and Gemini are ruled by Mercury, so we get hit pretty hard. Yeah. But yeah. So I hope you guys are doing really well there. But that's just a little bit astrologically that's going on. And we already have a question. Did you guys want to do a general collective reading or jump right into questions?
I actually took 2 cards for the general collective.
Okay,
I'm feeling like we need it right now. Okay. I just feel like there's so much going on, and people just need a message of hope. Really, I did a channeled message the other day from the Ascended Masters, and it was really about it was really about really hope, right? Giving each other hope and just being really in that compassion. Because we are going through so much. And so when I asked about what we were going through, what I got in the cards was starting fresh. So it's about, it's a yin and yang as well. So we're starting fresh, and it's really like balancing the scales is what's happening right now. And I think part of the retrogrades, I think we were talking about this, Michelle, the part where you're healing your karmic stuff. So you're really balancing that in this time. And so really it's starting fresh. So there's a big changes that are afoot, and they're good, because the second card I got, it was revealing radiance. And so it's like we're sloughing off, is what I'm hearing. We're sloughing off some of that stuff that we don't need anymore. Whether it's on a personal level or on a collective level, there's a bunch of stuff that's just sloughing off at the moment. And so a lot of us are feeling very much like hibernating, and not really putting ourselves out there. And, with the situation around the world, that's understandable. So, yeah, so I just wanted to pass that little message. So have hope, because there's lots of radiance coming. There's a pearl inside that shell. So, we're just uncovering the pearls as we go through this year. Okay, so I wanted to bring that to you. Thank you.
Wonderful, Tanys.
Thank you so much, Tanys. Are we good to get started?
Can we do a real quickie? Sorry,
Sure.
I just drew a couple of cards too.
Yeah, that's fine, totally.
Yeah, this is for the collective, because I felt the same thing, that we really need it. So the first card I drew is the patience card. I feel like we need to kind of relinquish a lot of the control we're trying to have, and just sort of approach with the now with patience and with calm, and just try to ground ourselves. And this kind of speaks to what Tanys was talking about as well. But and then the other card that I got, which is a wonderful card, is the gift. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the upcoming year is going to be, it's going to feel like a gift. I think this entire period has been a gift, although we may not feel that way necessarily, but it really has been. I like to look at it as a cosmic realignment. And it says present, honoring, offering. So this is a very hopeful card, and there's a lot of light in this card. And so like Tanys was saying, there is a lot of hope, and I think it would really kind of behoove us to focus on like what we've learned coming out of this, and just like focus on the things that we're grateful for as we're moving through another transitional stage.
I was hearing that too, the gratitude. As you were, before you said it, I was like, gratitude.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of key. Yeah.
Okay, because we're all doing it, I pulled a card.
Yay.
I got the Protector. This is actually from the Wild Goddess Oracle, and it's on the cover. And it's surround yourself with people who lift you, accept you as you are, and believe in your vision and your purpose, and bring out the very best in you. Okay, so this is a year about surrounding yourself with the people who bring out the best in you, bring out your gifts, and allow you to make a positive change in the world. Okay.
See,
All
I'm
right.
so glad I've got you two around me.
Oh, we love you too, Tanys. Okay. Okay. So, okay is our first question. Okay. So, hey, ladies, my question is, how does Laura feel about herself and how she's handled herself when it comes to me, the daughter-in-law? I've given her a lot of chances, and I mean plenty. She just goes back to disrespecting me. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. And the last straw was her wanting me to fight with me because I told her husband was a perv. She knows I'm telling the truth. The woman knows her husband. Okay. So it's not good. This is Venus retrograde. It's not good to call people names in the family. Okay. I know that, I'm Mercury retrograde, so I tend to twist my words this time of year. So if you've got some planets in Venus, your relationships are being tested right now. Okay. So kind of take a step back, take a breather. Okay. Because the card I got for you, okay, the first card was Pluto. This is the card of obsession. It's the need to completely control a situation. Okay. And I feel like you're trying to control it and she's trying to control it. And it's this big old tug of war. Okay. And neither of you is going to win because one has to control the other in the situation. Okay. You need to get to the heart of this without being controlling. And what I do is rather than speaking from my gut, which I tend to kind of like that fight or flight response, I speak from my heart and I calm myself down before I'm talking to someone who might be a little bit difficult or controlling. Okay. So I said, what's going on with Kay? I got the hope card. And that's exactly what Tanys pulled up earlier. So hope is actually a really beautiful card to get. Okay. It means that there is hope for your relationship with your mother-in-law. You just need to kind of back off a little bit and you can be the adult in the room and do it. Okay. Hope heralds a time of potential renewal. Okay. Whatever trials you're going to endure with her or how close your relationship may have come to a breaking point, don't lose faith. Okay. Because this card tells me that you have a second chance with her. Okay. So regardless of the pattern that you guys have been working through, this is a very good card to get. And I think the reason for this is I got the Lovers. You love her son. She knows you love her son. Okay. So that is the connection that you have. And I think a lot of the fear that she might be feeling or the hurt that she might be projecting is because she loves her son and you love your son and you have this shared interest. Okay. And I think that deepening your bond with your partner and going to your partner for a little bit of advice and maybe kind of talking to them about the best way to move forward because your partner knows the mother a lot more, came out of her, grew up with her. Maybe he can help you deal with the idiosyncrasies. If I said that right, it's Mercury retrograde. But he can help you deal with those little details that can maybe make things a little better. Okay. So my main advice to you is calm the act down. Okay. And take a few breaths. And there is hope for this relationship. Just don't call people names because that's not going to get you anywhere. Even if he, and if the father is projecting some negative behaviors, just set some appropriate boundaries. Okay, name calling is not going to do it. Just set a boundary and say, that doesn't make me comfortable. Or leave if it gets too bad. and then tell your husband, this is going on. This is why I had to leave. I hope you have, just good, healthy boundaries. Okay. But calling names and getting upset isn't going to help anybody. I hope that was helpful, Kay.
So we always joke and about how similar things are when we pull them out. So yes, the cards I got for you, Kay, were stepping into stillness for reflection. Listening with the heart. Yes, exactly. You can't make this stuff up. Listening with the heart. And so stepping into stillness will allow you, it's like you're going to look at it from up higher. You see how she's on this moon here? Right? So you're looking at it from a higher perspective in terms of it's not like right here in your face. You're able to get a little bit of distance, which it sounds from your comments that that you have gotten some distance. So just from that distance, try to listen to the situation with the heart. I feel as though she has some wounding from her childhood that's coming up for her. And I feel like it's something to do with the sun and the sort of the dynamic between the two. And it's not that it's necessarily a bad dynamic, although it does seem as though it is from your comments. I feel as though it's something from the childhood dynamic that is still sort of tethered. I'm seeing like you guys, they're tethered somehow. So whether we all get
past life
cords.
Past
life thing?
He was her husband in a past life.
Yeah, I was picking up on that kind of a vibe. So yeah, I would say that's probably true. So there's like a bit of a jealousy thing going on. Okay. So if you can look at that from that higher perspective and listen to your heart about it. Okay. Listen with your heart. So meaning going into the heart space, that helps you to get into stillness as well. And then just expect miracles. Okay. You see here, it's glowing. And there's that growth along the side, and there's two sets of growth, right? There's 2 hands, 2 sets of growth. And so that indicates that both of you are growing. You're in this period of growth, which is very indicative of what's going on in the world today as well. So I'm not surprised by that. So there's lots of growth going on, and you see this beautiful lotus blossoming here. Expect miracles. So much like what Michelle was saying, I do feel there could be a second chance coming along for you. There's going to be some kind of a breakthrough event or interaction. And when I asked about that, I got a yes, the timing is right for this new venture. A happy outcome will follow your positive expectations. So you need to expect the miracles to have the positive expectations come true. Okay. So part of it is going to be a reframing for you. And I think that it's a power struggle as well. So this one here is saying it's safe for you to be powerful. You know how to be powerful in a loving way that benefits others as well as yourself. So that's about those boundaries, right? It's about putting your boundaries up, stepping into stillness, and really allowing the healing and the divine beings to help out. Okay, ask them for help. Because they can't interfere if we don't ask. So please, they're encouraging you to ask them for help. Okay, ask them to help you in this situation to sort that out, and there will be some growth, and expect some miracles. Okay, hope that's helpful. Okay.
Thank you, Tanys. Okay, and again, like I said, I was trying not to cackle before. Very similar cards. The first one that I got for you is a drift card. Only in this deck, I have a different deck where adrift means something else, means like you're lost. But here, this is literally talking about you letting go. Okay, so again, I like the imagery here, just kind of relaxing and letting your body go while you're in the water. Letting go, allowing a higher force to take charge for a time. Because like the ladies were saying, you were kind of you want to have it your way. But the thing is that you guys keep sort of butting heads because you have some similar feelings and some similar interests. And she probably doesn't really understand why it feels the way that it does. Because like I said, I was picking up on a past life connection with her son, but he was her husband in a different lifetime. And I think he's been with her several lifetimes at least. So there's a very strong connection, like Tanys was saying. And she can feel it, but she doesn't quite understand, okay, so he's her son, but there's other stuff. It's a little complex. And I understand from your comments that, it's a complicated relationship and you haven't really been in touch with her, but she definitely has some wounding, like Tanys was saying. And here's the second card that I drew for you. And it's basically just to demonstrate love. Try and take out all of your personal subjectivity out of it and approach it with a very objective, neutral, but with a lot of love in your heart, and just try to come from a perspective of, I wonder why she feels the way that she does so strongly, or why she's wounded, and just kind of, try to have, like Tanys was saying, try to take a different perspective, because what you've been doing hasn't really been working for you. So if you try a different approach, you can see it in a very different way. It might really change things up. Whether or not you actually even have any contact with her, it might change the way you feel about the entire situation, and that's worth exploring. Okay. And then finally, I got the healing temple. Yes.
Chills on that.
Restoration.
On that one.
Yep. Restoration, cure, safety. So this, I think, is for both you and for her. I'm sure she's not watching this, but this is really, you guys both need there's wounding on your end, there's wounding on her end. You're kind of just triggering each other. So you both need, and that's a gift in itself as well. So I would advise you to really kind of sit with it and just try to feel out why it is that it's triggering you as much as it does. All right, Kay. And by the way, thank you for the compliment. She was basically saying that she always comes here to get advice from us, and
awesome. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Kay. And again, try not to say the names, because it triggers the situation more. Okay. But you can call out bad behavior by just setting good boundaries. Okay.
Even if the names are well deserved.
Yes, they could be very well deserved. Just keep them in your head. Okay.
I have a quick answer for Joey. Joey is on, so welcome, Joey. Good to see
Joey,
you.
yes, Joey, good to see you.
And he was asking if they were Denise Lynn cards. Yes, they're the gateway cards that I was using. Those and Angel Oracle by Doreen Virtue. Okay.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, Joey, we gave you a reading last time. We hope you loved it. It's so good to see you. Okay, so our next question, we are moving ahead of the line a little bit. And the reason we do this is because when people tip, they get ahead of the line. So thank you for tipping, Rachel. Okay, my question is, I had to get a breast exam and I'm really worried about it. I have to get an ultrasound next week, then I've been having pain. Wondering if you could pull cards for this, or just general cards of whatever comes up. Okay, well, I know that Renata is the medical intuitive and she can kind of tap into this energetically. So would you like to go first, Renata, or?
I want to feel this out. Let me feel this out a little bit, because there are some complicated things a little bit coming up.
Okay, that's fine. It takes you time. I understand. So we're going to give Renata some time to tap into your energy with your permission, of course. And I pulled a few cards for you. Okay, Rachel, first off, that's very scary. I'm very sorry that you're going through this. I have had multiple breast surgeries because of complications myself. But know that, you are young. There's a lot that they can do. And I went through some very critical procedures, and I'm just fine because of the technology that we have today. And I'm saying this to you because I got the reverse hope card. Okay. So, don't try, be honest with yourself. Don't over idealize the situation, but try not to be too hopeless about it. Okay. Guard your heart as you go through this, because it can cause a lot of stress. Okay. I'm feeling that you're allowing this to kind of chew away at your energy. And I'm speaking from experience, because I have a very anxious kind of personality too. That's why I have to do lots of remedies. So if there are some exercises that you can do to kind of calm yourself down, some breathing exercises. I do yoga asanas. I do breathing exercises. I do mantras. Those help me. I think that'll really help. And what I got from Spirit was the 4th house from Karma cards. Okay. And it literally says, do what makes you feel secure. Okay. So really pay attention to your home base. Okay. And, the fourth house is Cancer. That rules the breast. Okay. So pay attention to your breast, pay attention to what's going on. Be very realistic about your situation, because that's what these things do. And really, it says support here. Reach out for support, because that really helped me. When I was going through my surgeries and I was scared, I called up my sister-in-law, and she was a rock. She was so encouraging. She sent me the sweetest card. So find someone in your life that can be a support. I know you have Ollie, so really lean on him too. Okay. And then from the Wild Goddess Oracle, I got the Seeker. So basically, having gratitude, patience, and compassion for yourself and others as you kind of go through this issue. Okay. But I did ask about, the overall outcome, and I think you're going to be okay. Okay. You're feeling a little hopeless. Things are kind of scary right now, but the Star card is a really good card. Okay. It's a card of faith. All right. So I think that, the Star comes after the Tower, and the Tower is kind of that upheaval moment. Okay. So enjoy a period of just calm, reaching out for support, doing things that work with your anxiety. Maybe find a creative project that you can put your mind onto if you're struggling to keep your mind calm. And work on something that's going to rekindle your spirituality. Okay. Because when we go through health stuff, it's not easy. Okay. I hope that was helpful. And I know that Renata and Tanys are going to have a lot to add to that. Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, thank you for giving me the opportunity to feel into that a little bit more, Michelle. I wholeheartedly agree with you, because as I was trying to feel out physically your body, I feel like you've put yourself under a lot of stress, and that's a side effect of what's happening, because the medical intuitive in me is picking up. This is more like intramuscular and nerve pain that you're feeling. So I would advise you to, of course, get checked out and, do whatever they're telling you to do. I'm not saying don't go, but I'm saying that I feel like a lot of this has to do with stress. And it's interesting because the first card that I got for you is this heart chakra, funny enough, which is obviously right in that vicinity. And I feel like that's because, so what you're feeling is just kind of manifesting itself, like the anxiety and trying to figure all the stuff out, trying to figure out which direction to go in. It's kind of manifesting in your body as pain and discomfort. And I think that that's a large part of it. Okay. I'm not picking up any crazy red flags or anything. Usually when it's bad, I'll know. I get this feeling in the pit of my stomach, and I'm not getting that. Along with that, I also got the heart chakra, and then I got this home card, but I think it's about the heart. The hearts that are on there, again, just keeps going back to your heart area. So I think this is also, and the next card that I got for you was this oracle card, which, as Michelle was talking about, like connecting to your spiritual gifts. I think that what's happening is that I'm getting tingles on this. So right now you're going through a transformational stage, like it's actually kind of ice cold. It's really strong.
Raphael, yes.
Yes. And oh, hi. And yeah, so I think you're in the midst of this transformational period, and right now some of that may manifest itself as that pain and discomfort in the body too, because remember, we're these energetic beings, and we are in these human bodies, which can be really, really limited, and we can't always keep up with all of these changes. So that's part of what's happening. As Michelle was saying, I feel like you need to simplify. Oh, actually, it's the support card, but actually, I got so many jumping up for you. So this is the simplify card. I feel like you're kind of overcomplicating things for yourself, right? So then you're putting additional unnecessary stress onto yourself. And that's part of the issue. So you've got to kind of learn to prioritize, like really learn to prioritize. I may have brought this up with you before, but learn to put like 2 or 3 things at the top of your list And then like, don't worry about the rest, because you're putting way too much on yourself and your body's under distress. And so you're going to experience these kinds of side effects and these kinds of symptoms. As Michelle was saying, a good support system is vital.
Mhm.
Having a good support system around you. Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Can't make this stuff up.
Right now too. Home help.
We should just all do them together.
Support.
Home help, home and support. There you go.
Okay, so
Right,
I got home. I got home and support as well. So there's also this energy card, and I think what it means is that you have to realign your own energies. You have to be mindful of your own energies, because what's happening is they're kind of going all over the place as you're trying to figure all the stuff out, and as you're kind of overwhelmed. Right. So you've got to be conscious of that and bring yourself back, ground yourself. Let me see if there was anything else. I think that's about the gist of it, but this was like very similar to what Michelle said. And I'm not picking up on crazy red flags. I think that, to me, I'm feeling like what I do is I kind of step into the person's body as I'm reading them. And what I'm picking up on is nerve. It's like off-shooting nerve kind of pain. So there are some things that are some inflammation is happening because of the anxiety and the anxiousness and stuff. So that's what I'm picking up on. Yeah. So definitely go and get checked out. And we're sending you, healing vibes as you do. I do not think that this is like, something to really, really freak out about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Mostly left. So I would ask you to feel into your relationship with your mother's side of the family, and trust the niggle of what comes up with that. So I think there's something there that that's going to come up for you. So if you just sit and allow that to come up, ask what it is and ask for help. So that's trust the niggle is also your intuition, right? I know Michelle mentioned that, and so did Renata. So tapping into that intuition, and trusting the niggle that comes up, because that's how you're going to know where the healing is that has to happen, because it is about that emotional healing affecting the physical. Okay. And so when you do that, you're going to start to renew your life. So you need to get rid of some of that clutter. And in this case, I feel the clutter is your thinking. It's that cluttered thinking, right? You're in that anxious state, and it's a bit of a clutter up there at the moment. And so you need to break through some of those barriers, because really what that does is create barriers for you in going forward, in making decisions. When we're in that fight and flight mode, fight or flight mode, that frontal lobe part shuts off so that you can make, so that you can run if you need to.
Life or death decisions, yeah.
Right? And so it takes blood away from the brain, and we don't think the same way, and so we get this confused thinking, right? So I'm really encouraging you to look at what it is that's really triggering for you, and start to do some forgiveness work on that, because forgiveness heals. Okay, once you start doing some of that forgiveness, then you need to ask for help. So I got that home help, and I just have to read this to you. So dear God and Archangel Raphael, thank you for giving me the courage to ask for and accept help from you, the angels, and others regarding my family and home. So that's why I'm encouraging you to think about the niggle, and this is your receiving, so your mother's side, okay? And don't forget to laugh. Laugh is the best medicine, okay? And you see the freedom there that he's with the white dove, right? You're going to feel that freedom, that if you can start to laugh.
Yeah, Rachel, I just want to say one last quick thing is that, sorry, not to interrupt you, Tanys, and that was a wonderful reading, but I feel like oftentimes when we're younger and we're trying to figure all this stuff out, we think it's like the most serious thing in the world. And then, I remember I had this experience in school and it didn't work out, and I thought it was the end of the world. I really did. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? My life is over. And honestly, looking back on it, as traumatic as it felt at the time, it actually ended up being one of the most important experiences in my life. And it set me on a kind of, I don't know, it made it easier for me to decide, okay, this is the direction that I want to go in. And looking back on it, it just wasn't that serious. And I thought it was. And I feel like that would be a good perspective for you to take as well. just take a step back. It really isn't as serious as you think it is.
I agree. And speaking from experience, Rachel, I've had multiple breast surgeries, and it's not uncommon for women our age, because I'm guessing you're in your 30s like me, that we just have these very fibrous areas that kind of need to be worked on, and hormones and things like that. So a lot of stuff happens in your late 30s. It's that lovely premenopause. Okay. So it could just be your body telling you your hormones going off and saying, look, this is what's going on. But again, your doctors are going to know best. And I agree with both Tanys and Renata, because I got the similar cards. This is nervousness. This is anxiety. And a lot of mine was anxiety too. Okay. So try to do some of those practices. And I know, Tanys, you said the mother, and the fourth house represents the mother. So maybe talk to mom about some family history stuff, because that really helped me on my journey, knowing that my mother had it, and other women in the family had reproductive cancers as well. They can basically figure out what your overall risk is and take steps in your mid to late 30s to get rid of anything that could cause a problem later. And that's what I had done. Okay. All right. All our love to you.
There's some connection between the mother and the heart too. I don't know what it is, but there's some connection there.
I know Joey has Kuan Yin there. Kuan Yin is great to work with. She's an ascended master, very much about that love and heart, mother energy. It's a beautiful energy that she holds. So you could call her in as well while you're doing some of this work as well. Thanks, Joey.
Oh, we love you, Joey. Okay, so we have some good news from Jennifer. She says, going back to an older reading, I wanted to let you know that you were right, and so right about the timing. I got the job. Now hoping for a win the next week or something else. Yay! All right. We're excited for you, Jennifer, and blessings to your daughter as well. Okay. And then Ange says, I always love the flow and energy between the three of you. Thank you so much, Ange.
Thank you. That's why we do the show.
Yeah. Okay. So our next question is Karen Pulver. She's a tipper, so she's getting ahead of the line. Okay, guys. So if you're behind her, that's how we roll. If you tip, you get priority. Okay. So if you want to get ahead of the line, go ahead and tip us and you're good to go. Okay.
Yeah. This just helps us cover the cost of the show, you guys, because it is not free for us to do. So.
Yeah, we're doing this on all of our channels, and it costs money and advertising and subscriptions and all of that. Okay, so we thank you for your support. Okay, so the first card I got was the third house of communications. Okay, I feel like he might be taking a short trip or something like that, but I'm getting like music. This has to do with like using his throat chakra, because the third house represents that throat chakra, and using his voice in a really creative way. And I say that because the second house I got, the second Mercury retrograde, the second card I got was the fifth house, and that represents entertainment, music, creativity. So either he's going to tell you he's going to have a baby, which I don't think is going to happen. I think it's more his baby is music right now. Okay. So it literally says, his ideas, getting his ideas going, making the right connections, so he's making some really good connections. And he's doing something really creative that he loves. And I'm getting music. Okay. And so I asked, what's going on with him just in general? Okay. Because I know that you are a very loving, supportive mom. Okay. I got the Hermit. Okay. He is kind of hanging out in COVID land still. Okay. Which is safe considering what we've all been through. But the Hermit brings solitude. Okay. And this isn't the worst kind of solitude. It really made him go inward and gravitate towards self-love and find out what he wanted to do in life. He was exploring his heart, his mind, his desires. And this inner journey healed a lot of the, blocks that might have been going on with him. Okay. I get that he keeps crystals by his computer and around his instruments, and those are really going to help him. Tanys can give better she can recommend
guidance.
Some stones for music. Yeah, for she can recommend some stones for crystals for musicians. Okay, I will get better after February 3rd. Okay, okay. So he used this time really wisely, and he's tapped into his creativity, and he's just an amazing kid, and that's all I have to say about that. All right, I know that Tanys has a lot more.
Yeah, the energy is beautiful. It's really a beautiful energy that he has. I feel like there's something that he's struggling with right now. Not a big thing, but there's something that he's struggling with that he just needs to focus in on getting some healing done.
Introspection, yeah.
Introspection, yeah, like that inner healing, and that's going to help him to ignite courage in his life, right? So it's going to help him to leap over that. So I see that wall as kind of whatever this is, that's his barrier. And it really is just, it's a perspective thing for him. It's not like, I don't feel like it's a real thing. It's really about how you look at it, right? What was that?
No, I was just cackling because
okay.
You said something that I pulled exactly.
Yeah. So I feel like it's really a perspective thing. And so the healing work is almost about that reframing and then doing some forgiveness stuff. But he needs to know that he's making a difference in the world. He has a need to make a difference, right? And he just needs to follow his intuition. So, this is always my speaking to spirit, right? And so he needs to tap into his intuition on this, because that's going to help him feel better about it, if he can do some of that. Because once he's in the flow, and that's, he's worried about having regrets. Well, that's where the courage comes in. So tapping into his heart space, tapping into the intuition, that's going to help him to know that he's doing the right thing. Feeling into the body, right? Feeling into, okay, so if it's a yes or no decision, it's like, if I do yes and put himself in that position, what does my body feel like? If I do no, what does my body feel like? Right? And it'll be very obvious, or it's usually pretty obvious when it's a good decision or a bad decision by how you feel it in your body, because our gut is really the first place that gets those kind of sensory messages, and then our heart, and then our brain. So, when we overthink, we're kind of bypassing all of that in our decision making. And so if he can really tap into that intuitive stuff, he's going to have an easier time and he'll be more comfortable with his decision. But I think the decision's going to turn out well, because it's going to help him to be in the flow, right? When he taps into that stuff, he's going to be more in the flow, and he's going to rise above. So there's lots of light there with the lotus coming out, rising above. So I think he's going to make the right decision for him in whatever this situation is. Okay. He's definitely, he's overthinking. Yeah. That's what I feel like. So he needs to take a step back and listen to that body and get the gut reaction, because that's your intuition right there. Okay. But don't worry. Beautiful heart. He just needs to step back and listen.
Thank you, Tanys. Okay, Karen, I don't know anything about your son. I've never heard you speak about him. So I'm going purely on, my reading skills here. But I am getting that he's going through something unexpected, or either he is already going through it or he will be going through it. And that's just kind of life throwing him a bit of a curveball to teach him the lessons that he needs to learn, and to put him through the experiences that he needs to be put through in order to become the person he's meant to become. Okay, so everything is right on track. I am getting, like I said, try not to cackle, this perspective card. A lot of it comes down to his perspective. Okay, that's where his power lies. So please remind him of that. And also I got this card that jumped out with it. He needs to just keep himself open-minded. All right, he needs to keep an open mind, whatever's coming at him. Just kind of try to take a step back and see if a shift in perspective would be helpful. Okay, because he can handle whatever is happening, and life is really all about flexibility and learning how to adjust to whatever it is that is coming at us. So I feel like this is a lesson for him. This is a lesson for him in several different ways.
And that last card, Renata, the baby with the young, yes, there's some inner child healing that he's on this journey, but there's lots of transformation in that area. See all the butterflies on there?
Yep.
It's bringing that transformation to his inner child. So it's about reassuring that inner child.
Past life stuff too for him.
Yeah.
There's some past life stuff. Not because there's I feel like most of that healing is not like this life. He really hasn't had a lot of that trauma happen in this life. This is like compounded past life stuff. And part of the reason why he chose to be born into your family, Karen, is because, you know, he knew that he could work through that stuff given having you as a mother and having you and his family and having the support. And that's very special. So I also got this card for him, the Gathering. And I don't think that that's the important part, but it's community, kinship, and companionship. So he, it would be great if he could actually find some support of his own, because he knows he can come to you, but it would be good for him to have some peers and some other, you know, friends who are like high quality friends, and that can be very, you know, challenging sometimes, but that would be a good focus for him.
It feels like a men's group, kind of.
Yeah.
But in
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
a casual kind of way.
Mm-hmm. It does kind of feel that way. And that would be really great for him. Just like someplace he can go and he could really sort of just be completely vulnerable and honest and just open up, and, you know, without like boundaries and without worrying what people are going to think about him. And I got this, the dolphin collar, but in this instance, I think it's just a reminder: pure, joyful friendships, loving help. Again, this is about the community. Like, he needs to have some of these pure friendships and pure connections where people don't have like an ulterior motive and they're not trying to get something out of him, but they're genuinely there to help him and support him and to love him. Again, easier said than done. I know we all seek those kinds of connections and they're on the rare side, but that is what Spirit is saying. Now, I think it's also important for him to keep his energies balanced, because he can fall out of balance rather easily, is what I'm picking up, especially when he gets caught up in that hamster wheel in his head. And he's got to bring himself back. So I would recommend going out in nature, you know, being amongst trees and plants and the soil, and just kind of reminding himself that, you know, life is kind of amazing. We forget about it often because we get so caught up in the everyday challenges, but he just needs to find a good way to ground himself and get himself back into balance. All right. And not always be so much caught up in his head. And this is kind of a recurrent theme, I guess, for us too, when we give this kind of advice. And we know from ourselves, I mean, it's not like we haven't been through it. I certainly have, right? So it's kind of a learning process. Like it's a work in progress our entire lives. We're not really meant to be caught up in our heads. And interestingly, I also got this, I feel like this trust your innocence, I feel like it's just a suggestion to kind of keep himself connected to his sense of innocence and not get too jaded, you know? His sense of joy, that childhood curiosity, to keep himself, keep himself connected to that. It's very important, that playfulness, the joy, the wonder, because when he gets caught up in his head, he gets disconnected from this part. And so connecting to this part is going to keep him in balance.
And I feel that's music.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a musician and I'm definitely picking up on the music vibes too. But, and then finally, I got this trust card, which is wonderful trust to get, because I was kind of wondering just what his general approach should be. And this is what Spirit said, is just trust. Have faith, basically, that everything is working out as it needs to. Don't worry about making the wrong decision. There is no such thing, really. Like, he's going to do what he's meant to do. So just, he kind of needs to let himself sink into his body and not be in his head so much, and just trust that things are going to work out for his best good.
Yeah, his
highest good. Yeah. He's just got to trust that it's going to work out exactly as it needs to. And I know that's tough, especially when you're an overthinker, but that's part of our lesson here. And that's definitely part of the lesson that he's meant to learn through this experience. Okay, Karen? Hope that was helpful.
I noticed,
Okay.
You had crystals. It was a crystal cave again.
Yes.
I was right about to ask you, yes, what crystals would be good for a musician or just bringing out the playful side?
So what I'm getting is carnelian.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Cool.
it's all about that sort of sacral, that playful creativity side. And for some reason, the labradorite is sticking out for me as well. So that's, heart, but also a lot of intuition and sort of, that mystic piece is what's coming through with this for me.
I feel like for him, it's interesting because as a musician, as a creative, as an artist, it's almost like you have to really step way outside of the, being an overthinker type. Like it's completely, and that's there to balance him out as well. And it's very important and it's very fulfilling for him. But because he gets caught up in the, oh no, I'm moving in the wrong direction, he's not allowing himself to flourish. He's not allowing that creative part of him to truly flourish as it was meant to. So he's got to get out of his own way and just let himself really come alive the way he was meant to.
And the labradorite is also about the, sorry.
Yeah, we're going a little over, guys.
Yes.
It's a little bit about protection too, because when you're in the limelight, that can happen.
Sorry,
Okay,
we just
great.
love Karen so much.
We do, and we love you, Karen. And thank you so much for tipping and supporting our
Thank
channel. And we
you.
know that we're getting low on time, guys. So if you want your question answered, please tip. Okay. So Jane, you've been very patient. Thank you, Jane. May I have any guidance regarding health? Okay. So the first card I got for you, Jane, was the reverse Empress. Okay. To me, this is you. Okay. You feel like your world is upside down. Now, the Empress can represent female-related illnesses. Something, it could be just anything kind of related to being a female. But I'm getting that it has completely turned you upside down. Okay. So I asked Spirit, what's going on with her that's just really causing a lot of the angst and the chaos, because I got more of a mental photo of what was going on. Like, regardless of what's going on physically, you're allowing this to affect your negative health. And I got the devil. Okay. So this is the Greek god of excess. Okay. Here it's Chimera, and he's a sign of chaos. Okay. Basically, it's expressing the lower self. It's our shadow side. Okay. This side of you is struggling for your consciousness for more dominance. Okay. It's putting kind of dark, negative thoughts in your head as you go through this. Okay. So you have a choice between love and patience and calm or obsession and kind of being chained to these very dark, negative energies. Okay. So keep your perspective positive moving through this, because the power of thought is it can have an extreme effect on our health. Okay. This has been proven by swamis in India. This has been proven by, medical doctors, both in the East and the West, that the power of our thoughts can determine our health. Okay. So I feel like you really need to do some inner mental work to kind of bring out some more positive affirmations about yourself and your situation in order for you to begin this road to healing. Because I also feel that this transformation has come your way to kind of force you into a more positive way of being and thinking. Otherwise, it's not going to end as well. Okay. So I get that it's the mental blocks that are causing a lot of the issues. So I said, what are her guides telling her? What can I give her as far as advice that can help her move forward? And I got temperance. Okay. And temperance is it's being calm in the storm. It's sitting still while the storm passes. Okay. And I know that can be kind of a difficult thing. It's advocating balance in your life, in your mental state. be mindful of your situation, because if it's left unattended, it could result in misunderstandings and further stress. Okay. So if you're feeling really volatile right now with your given situation, because I'm getting a lot of mental volatility, don't let your emotions run away with you. Okay. Maintain your equilibrium by listening to your heart and your head in equal measure. Okay. So whatever your situation, I know that patience and diligence are really going to help you manage your health outlook. Okay. And your guides are trying to get in contact with you because I got keep a dream journal. Okay, Jane. So they're trying to connect with you through your dreams so that they can try to calm down your mental state and help you through this time of transformation. Okay. So all my love to you. And I'm thinking and breathing health into your life. Okay. And I hope you do the same for you, because you're worth it and you're beautiful. All right.
Hi, Jean. So yes, so similar stuff. For me, I got that you're having some relationship issues. So, when we look at health stuff, it's always, so there's always a relationship or a mental part of our physical health. So I think there's a mental health aspect for all of this for you. Like there's that anxiety, the rethinking thing that Michelle was talking about, that sort of, really trying to calm the mind down a little bit. But there's some stuff going on in a relationship for you that is creating some stress.
Mhm.
And it may be triggering some behaviors for you that are not as advantageous for you as they could be. Okay. So I asked what you could do to sort of mitigate some of this. And they recommended cutting out caffeine. So I usually get this for people that are drinking a fair bit of coffee or caffeinated soda and stuff. So so I'm recommending that you cut down on the caffeine. And I also got sobriety. So I know when we're under a lot of stress, we tend to, we'll have, that glass of wine or whatever, because it helps to calm us down. It could be about other things as well. This card really speaks to cravings and, making healthful decisions. So it says, "Dear God and Archangel Raphael, thank you for adjusting my cravings in a healthful direction so that I only desire life-affirming food and beverages." So it's really about, watching your diet, and we tend to, it's feeling like there's not an obsessive piece, but there's a piece there that you should look at, okay? Whether it's the alcohol or like a craving of a food. There's some food that you really love that you're almost overdoing it a little bit on as well. So if you can take care of some of those things and then step into forgiveness. So forgiveness heals. I don't know if you've heard about the Ho'oponopono. I talk about it often, almost every week. So the Ho'oponopono is a great healing technique. So look that up online. It's a forgiveness technique that is really helpful to help people move through and heal some of that stuff. And get some exercise, please. Okay. I know it's hard when we're all closed in at home and everything, but so that would be my key. So your health is really about, oh, thank you. Yes, there you go. There's the Ho'oponopono.
Michelle is very handy.
Thank you. I love you. Okay. Basically, you repeat that while you visualize the person that's giving you a hard time. Okay. So that relationship that I'm talking about, I know you know which one it is. So just picture that person's face and say those phrases until you feel a little better about the situation. Okay. It's like using a mantra. So yeah, all my love, sending you lots of healing vibes. Okay.
Okay. What was the name again? Let's see. Jane, right. Sorry about that. I just wanted to tune myself back in. Okay, Jane. So the first card that I got is the Heart of the Matter card. And it says on there's more going on than meets the eye. And I feel like that's both for you, which you may not actually even be realizing that, but there are some layers there that you need to work through. And also for the other person that's involved, where that relationship, what that relationship entails and what you've been going through. I feel like it's not maybe necessarily obvious what the other person's going through. I also got this, consider your foundation. So you may be getting triggered just based on your own personal experiences, but again, that can be a gift. And this is a lot about alignment. Okay, so that's kind of playing into the foundation bit. This is about you realigning yourself, because what's happening right now is throwing you out of alignment, which is affecting your health. All right, and you may be compensating, as Tanys was saying, with some of those excessive kind of cravings, and depending on how much you're giving into them. But it's not, it's not so much. I don't want you to think about it as denying yourself. It's really not about that. I feel like if you step into your alignment, then you're naturally not really going to have those crazy cravings anymore. That's just not going to be a thing. Okay. Now I asked, how does she do that? And I kept getting this card popping up for you. All right. So I'm not exactly sure what this means for you, but I got this twice: furred and feathered friends. So I feel like part of your alignment lies in connecting with animals, maybe nature, but maybe you can go, like, I don't know if you have pets or if you have friends who have pets, but it would be very, very good for you to connect with animals right now. Maybe some sort of a sanctuary or rescue, a conservation area or something like that, depending on what you feel passionate about or where you're interested in exploring. But there's definitely some major significance in terms of you connecting to animals, because I feel like that's going to rebalance your energy and realign you. It's interesting because I got this death card, and I think this is regarding a relationship. So there's something going on in a relationship, or that has already happened. Either there was like a breakup already, or things have been moving in that direction. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because again, you are exactly where you need to be in this given moment. Okay, so here's what Spirit is recommending. Connect to your pleasure. I don't know if you can see, it's on the bottom here. This is hard to see on camera, but it says in the bottom, pleasure. So this is kind of how you step out of this energy, this like downward spiral, is you connect to the things that give you joy. You connect to the pleasure. And I feel like if you connect to like the nature or animals, you're going to put yourself back into alignment, and it's going to improve the symptoms that you've been experiencing. There is also this meditation card. So again, like Michelle was talking about, you guys, we're always like kind of in the same realm of what we're talking about when we're pulling these cards. But it's really about you finding that center and realigning yourself and finding that stillness within you. Listening to the silence really is what it comes down to. And I know that may feel almost counterintuitive, but I think that was pretty much all. Yeah, I mean, I got a whole bunch of cards, but the animal connection there is really strong. I'm not really sure what that's about, if you already have that going on, or if you've been thinking about it, even if it's just a pet cafe or something that you get to go to. But I feel like it's important for you to do that, and get yourself back on track. But I'm not picking up anything super specific about the health stuff, except that, again, it is like Michelle was saying, it's like psychological, it's emotional, and that's having a cascade in your body. So if you can address that, then you're going to see some fast improvements in what you've been experiencing. Okay, hope that was helpful.
Oh, thank you, Renata. That was beautiful. Okay, just take care, Jane. Thank you so much for joining us. All our best to you. All right, guys, our next question is from Kelly, and I'm just going to remind everyone that if you want your question pushed to the front of the line, we have quite a few in line, okay? You're going to need the tip to get it answered. Okay, we're kind of at that part of the show, all right? So I'm just letting you know, unless you came really early like Kelly or you tipped, you're not going to get your question answered, okay? Because that's just the way the show works. There's only so much time. Okay. Hi, lovely ladies. I applied for a job today. Congratulations. Do you see this working out for me? Thank you. Okay, Kelly, I got some really interesting cards for you. The first one I got, and he just wants to make a show today, is the Devil reversed. So it's upright for someone else. It's reversed for you. Okay. So there is a manipulative individual that is trying to have an influence over you. It could be in the workplace or it could be influencing your decision, but they're in your environment. I just kind of feel them creeping around the edges and whispering in your ear. Okay. It's unlikely that they have your best interests at heart. Okay. So regardless of what they may promise you or demand from you, or, you know, fill in the blank, steel yourself against some really powerful persuasion. Okay. And this could just be a little warning from your guides before just jumping into a job, because I know that a lot of work environments have changed since COVID, and people are kind of making up for lost time in areas where they shouldn't. So that's where I get manipulation. So just be on guard for that. Okay. And then I got Leo, which is leadership. Okay. It's showing the world who you are. It's self-confidence. It's the world's your stage, Leo, in the 10th house of career. Okay. So I get a big yes if you're able to be a leader in this position. If you are able to shine and show the office or the position who you are, and if it brings out the leadership qualities in you, the self-confidence in you, it takes your abilities and it puts them on display in a really good way, then it's a definite yes. But the reverse devil gives me a little bit of a, like, if you can't be this in the workplace, then it's not the job for you. If you can be this in the workplace, then don't let the manipulator in. Set a very healthy boundary with that person. Okay. It literally says becoming a person of power and status, and Leo is the leadership card. So there could be a lot of opportunities for you to be elevated and in the career that's coming for you. So Spirit's giving me that a really good career is coming for you that's going to allow you to take on a leadership position. Just beware of this person. Okay. I hope that was helpful. I know Tanys and Renata have a lot more.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so I agree with you on that in terms of I'm not entirely sure that this job is what you think it is. Is what I think, because I did get this card here, which is no, the conditions aren't favorable right now. Wait and look into other options and ask the angels to help guide and comfort you. So I feel as though this is not necessarily an alignment for you. It doesn't mean you won't get it. So I'm not saying you're not going to get it. I'm just saying there may be some tweaking that you need to do. And like Michelle said, the rest of the cards, though, are awesome. So you're going to find something that you're going to be in the flow. Once you're in the flow, you can expect miracles, right? And growth and being held. Like, it's just, this is so loving. Like, the pink is really coming through for me. So I feel like even if you don't get that, then you need to know that it's because there's something way better for you. Okay. And you just need to believe in the magic, right? Believe in the magic of this happening for you in the best way for you. And I'm seeing a key. So there's a key on here, and they were showing it to me in my head as well. But the key is really significant in knowing that it's the right one. Okay. Because once you get there, as you honor and follow the guidance of your heart, prosperity is coming to you now. So I feel like you need to really follow your heart on this, to really feel into this, whether it is the right one for you or not. Because the devil for me too, when that came up, I was like, yeah, there's a piece there. So like, it might be a good job for you, but there is this piece that you need to just be aware of. And that may be the piece that's going to sort of, it could push you out of alignment with the job. So you want to make sure that you're being in flow with yourself and really listening to the heart in order to make sure that this is right for you. Okay. But the rest of it is really, they're great cards. So, just don't worry about it either way with this one. I think you're going to end up in the right job for you. And so just trust in the process and believe in miracles, right? Believe in magic.
I agree. It's interesting. So I got this. I got these two cards pop up for you, and I really was kind of trying to focus in on this job in particular. So I feel like if you take this job, and like Michelle was saying, there's like a little bit of a thorn in the side kind of a feeling there. So if you do go this route, it's going to feel like it's a willing entanglement, but you don't want to feel this way when you're at a job, especially like a new job, or, you know, at any point, really. You don't want to feel like you're sort of trapped into it. It doesn't feel like it's a very freeing kind of experience. And I also got this fleeting beauty card. So this speaks to how it may look one way on the surface, but it may be something different when you actually get in there and you start working. Like the ladies were saying, and like Tanys was saying especially, that this is not exactly, this may not be exactly the right fit. I feel like you're going to, I agree with Michelle. I feel like it needs to be, you need to have the freedom to be a leader. And this call forth the waves, to me, it speaks to your power. Like you are being called to step into your power here with this job, with this position, and you may not have that opportunity. And so it's very, very important. And I also got this throat chakra card. So this is, you need to have a position where you're going to have the freedom to really speak your mind and your heart. Like you're going to be able to actually feel free to speak up when you need to. And you need to have a lot of freedom and a lot of movement in that position. And so this may not be the right one. However, I also got this divination card, and this speaks to your intuitive gifts. So if you listen to your intuitive gifts, and you have them, Kelly, you are going to know when it's the right one. You're going to know. You're not even going to really have questions about it. You're just going to know because it's going to feel aligned in a number of ways. So what you need to do, as Tana said, is trust it, because that feeling is there. Your guides are sending you messages. And you just need to trust yourself. This is also a lesson in you trusting yourself, stepping into that trust of self. Okay, but you definitely, like Tana said, I feel like you will find the right position. It may not be this one, but just keep going. I'll tell you, I just went through the same thing. It took me a long time. I was looking for a job, and I started looking right like as the pandemic basically began, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know. I just had to keep going. And I really it took me a long time, like a year and a half or something, because everything was on lockdown and I'm in healthcare and it's been atrocious. But I ended up just leaning into the feeling of, you know what, I'm just going to trust that things are going to work out as they need to, and I'm going to find the right position in time, because I was working against a deadline. And that's exactly how it went down. All because I stepped out of my head and out of the concern and the worry, and I just like leaned into that feeling in my gut. Like, it's going to be okay. And I know that I'm being cared for. We're all being looked out for and taken care of. It's just that we may not realize it. All right, Kelly. So I feel like if you just step into that power of intuition, you will know when the right position comes along.
And I think it's pretty soon. Like, I think it feels fairly soon.
It's not going to take a year and a half. Not like definitely not.
It feels like, yeah, that's at tops, right? Like, it's not, we're not saying it's not happening like.
Right. No, it is. But it's like, I think this is about you stepping into that intuitive feeling. That this process of looking for the job is more than just looking for a job, essentially. And that's how life is kind of designed. Like, all these experiences are designed to give us a multitude of experiences that we need in order to grow and evolve. And so this is part of it for you. Okay, Kelly, hope that was helpful.
Oh, Kelly, thank you so much for joining us. It's always so good to see you. Okay, well, I did pull cards for one more person, if that's okay with you guys. Okay. And this is someone who's visiting us all the way from the UK. Good evening from England. Anything, please. Oh, good evening to you too, Helen. Okay, so the first card I got for you, Helen, was the 11th house of finding your tribe, spending time with your tribe. Okay, this is what Spirit is telling me. Helen needs to get out and spend some time with like-minded people to really lift her spirits and make her feel amazing. Okay, it's sharing your hopes and wishes, planning for the future, doing things that make you excited, being with your circle of friends. Okay, so that's the first thing I got for you. Okay, and then the second thing I got for you is the Hermit reverse. Now, when the Hermit comes up reverse, that's the need to go out and socialize. When the Hermit's this way, go in and introspect. When the hermit's this way, go out and socialize. Okay. If it's not safe for you to socialize, I understand, you know, we're still kind of going through this whole COVID thing, and not all of us have been fully vaccinated, or we're uncertain about Omicron, you know, all that other stuff. Just get on Zoom, find something online. Okay. That's what we've been doing. It's helped us stay sane. So yeah, find a way to connect with people. Okay. And if you are vaccinated, find someone that, you know, find a group that you're very, that you feel safe with. Okay. I'm guessing that's the reason you're not getting out of the house, because that's, you know, the main reason a lot of us aren't. I got reverse Wheel of Fortune for you. What's going on kind of in your overall mental state. But the really good news is right after that, I got the Sun. Okay. So you had a moment of being kind of down for a while, and I'm getting that this was in the past up until just recently, and it's caused you to kind of go in and be a lot more solitary. But I think that what Spirit's telling you, and your guides are kind of, you know, pushing you and urging you to do, is to get around people that share your interests, that make you laugh, that bring the joy up in your life again. Okay. Because that can kind of make you depressed and not happy. So the Sun is really good, because once you go out and you do these things, your life's just going to get bigger and brighter and more beautiful. And the Sun is just a really positive card for, you know, rebirthing new ideas. And it's an auspicious card for starting, you know, new friendships, and you know, spending time with children in your life, if you have any children in your life, and accepting a lot of those social invitations, opportunities to keep your spirit high. Okay. So if people start inviting you to things, and these are people that you like, that make you laugh, that, you know, just bring you joy, put yourself out there. Okay. Have some fun. Enjoy this time. Okay, Helen, I hope that was helpful.
Hi, Helen. I wholeheartedly agree. And the, you know, being online and Zoom, the three of us met online. Mm-hmm. So we found our tribe online during all of it. And so, you know, that came up for me while she was talking. And so for me, I think there is a component of that for you, that you're going to find a community that you're going to feel really connected to, an online community of some kind. Okay. And that's going to help you to renew your life. So take this introspection time to clear away some clutter. I do feel like it's a bit of a physical clutter thing for you right now. Like there's some loose ends or some tidying or something that you're trying to get through. So when you do that, it's going to help you with the mental clutter as well. Okay. And embark on an adventure. And Michelle brought that up. Really embarking on that adventure. There's far off places there. So I feel like that if it's not safe for you to do that right now, I feel that you can do that online. So part of that was coming through for this. Okay. So tapping into that. They're even doing like tours of the Egyptian pyramids and stuff these days. So even doing something like that to get you into sort of, I feel like there's a piece there for you, for that ancient knowledge is coming through. Okay, so into that, I feel like there's sort of, I mean, the Giza pyramids is coming up for me for a reason, obviously. So I think there's something there for you. So do some reading about Egypt. I just feel like there's something there that you can tap into. Okay, and then you have an important life purpose involving communication and the arts. Please don't allow your insecurities to hold you back. So I think there's a bit of some of the insecurities right now, and it could be that the same one that a lot of us are feeling, that insecurity or fear around the COVID situation. So please don't allow that to hold you back from some of these other safer activities. I'm not advocating that you go out if you're not feeling safe. What I'm advocating is finding other avenues to have these adventures. Okay. And then I got I am the angel of abundance. You will receive the money that you need, and God is in charge of how that will happen. So have faith. Okay. So oftentimes when we get in with our tribe and we get into flow, abundance comes, because abundance is not just about money. It's also about the, an abundance of friends, an abundance of love. And it's all in that high vibration. And I'm getting tingles on that. So it's about abundance of friends and abundance of love. That's what's going to be coming in for you. Okay. So so enjoy. Sounds exciting.
Okay. Thank you, Tanys. I just want to say I was reading the comments, and Jane Teller said, "Thanks so much. I connected with parrots and birds yesterday, and everything else mentioned makes sense." Okay, so that was the furry friends or whatever, furry and feathered friends that kept popping out. I was like, okay, this keeps coming up. This must be significant. Thank you so much for the validation. We appreciate that. Okay, Helen. So the first card I got for you was this water card, but it's the overflow. So you're feeling like you have a lot to handle right now, basically, and it feels overwhelming. While water can be a wonderful conductive agent and calming, but sometimes it's just too much and you feel like you're drowning. So that's kind of what I'm getting for you. I feel like the ladies were saying you need that sense of community. Okay. So you have to kind of step forward with intention. You have to kind of prioritize this one direction that you want to move in and just move forward in that one direction. Okay, to kind of, it's really about prioritization, basically, is another way of saying that. So it's about like, you know, figuring out, okay, what's the most important thing for me right now? Instead of trying to address a whole bunch of things at once, see what feels like the most important thing for you is. Like, I think that you connecting to others, as the ladies were saying, would be really, really important. So try to prioritize that and move forward with that intention in mind. I also got that you'd like, it would be really, really good for you to have someone to confide in, right? And also you need an avenue to express yourself. It's very important for you to be able to express yourself, because that's how you're going to kind of channel some of those frustrations out of your system, and you're going to step into your gifts as well. You're meant to express yourself. So these finding like-minded individuals, as the ladies were talking about, like Tana said, we found each other online, and you know, it was almost like a miracle that we actually met. I mean, we're all in three very, very different places. Yeah, we're in very different places, and so there was probably no chance we would ever meet each other if it wasn't for online. So we all have this as a tool, and you certainly do too. And there's so many different kinds of settings online now that you know, if you're not comfortable with one, you can find a different one. If you're not comfortable on camera, you can go to just like a chat room. If you're not comfortable with that, you can just go someplace where they're posting things and it's not in real time. So you can do it at your own pace. But it would be wonderful for you to find some groups that have some shared interests with you, because I feel like that's really important. Your ability to express yourself is very important, and I don't think you've been actually allowing yourself to do that. So please try and connect to that and get back to that. And in fact, to that suggestion, you're being called to travel homeland, to your homeland, meaning like you're actually meant to connect to yourself in the deepest sense, which you've been kind of neglecting. So that is the direction that you are meant to move in. And kind of, it's talk about like establishment, building, settling. So this is really about you finding your tribe, like Tana said, and finding like-minded individuals. It's very, very important, and you haven't really been giving yourself the opportunity to do that. Also, I got this ask for help card. Okay, so when you do need assistance, when you do need help, be open to that. It's okay to need help. It's okay to be open. It's actually better than okay. I mean, we all need help sometime, and it's really hard for us. Most of us are good in either one direction or the other, but not so good in both. So that's part of why we're here, is to learn how to find that balance. Also, this one popped out, and I'm not exactly sure if this speaks to, I think this is more of like a future thing, but it says, you know, if the opportunity comes along, take a chance. If the opportunity for love comes along, if a romantic connection comes along, take a chance. Don't be afraid to kind of step into it, because this is more about you experiencing it than whether or not it even works out. But you've been kind of neglecting yourself in a plethora of ways, I feel like. And you need to find ways to connect with others again, and to express yourself, and to express yourself maybe even just artistically or verbally. You know, it could be writing, it could be art, it could be anything. And yeah, just be open to whatever comes along, and I hope that was helpful for you, Helen.
I think
Okay.
it's expressed verbally. Your throat chakra needs a little bit of work, Helen. Work with some soda light or some lapis lazuli, okay? Thanks.
Okay, and I actually pulled my past life cards because Tanys mentioned the pyramids, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to pull the pyramid card. I didn't. What I got was medicine. I got health and medicine, man or woman. So getting involved in maybe holistic health might be the groups that you fall into. Alternative health is huge right now. Everybody is paying attention, or at least more attention, to their health and alternative therapies and things like that to stay healthy. And because the number one thing that we can do against this virus, other than, in my opinion, get vaccinated, is to take really good care of our vessels, to take good care of our bodies, and to make sure we're taking our vitamins and going out for that walk every day. But there are a lot of really wonderful. So anyways, holistic medicine was what came up. So I don't know if that means anything to you. But anyways, okay. Well, I just want to thank everybody for coming today. Again, my name is Michelle Marie. I'm the owner and operator of Astrological Tarot. I am a Vedic and Western astrologer. Feel free to book a session with me anytime at astrologicaltarot.com. And I just want to thank everyone for joining us today. If we did not get to your question, know that we are here every Wednesday, and either show up really early and get your question in the on the list, or tip, because that helps us keep the show running. Okay, so thank you all again for coming, and blessings to all of you and your loved ones. Oh, Tanys here.
Tanys Coughlan from community. Sorry, I was on mute. I'm a physical empath, so when there's something going on for somebody, I react. Why I was coming through, Helen, or trying to, about the throat chakra, because I was feeling that really strongly. So anyway, so thank you. Yes, I'm a physical empath, Reiki master, crystal master, and Celtic Shamanic high priestess. And certainly check out our website at twillowlifestyle.ca. And I'm really happy you're here. Hope to see you next week.
Thank you, Tanys. Yeah, I mean, it was just all the stuff that I was saying too. She hasn't been doing a lot of stuff for herself, hasn't been speaking up for herself, and hasn't been like just taking care of herself. So it totally falls in line with what you're feeling. Anyway, I'm Renata Zimmer of Readings by Renata, medical intuitive, healer, psychic medium, coach, counselor, etc. Thank you so much for being here. We always appreciate you guys and your energy and your support. We thank you for your tips that, as Michelle said, helps us keep the show running, because it costs money, aside from the fact that we invest our time and our energy. Please come see us next week. We're here every Wednesday. As Michelle said, again, put your questions in early or tip to get ahead in the line. Thank you so much again. We love you guys.
Okay, great. Oh, lots of hearts. Yay. And I wore my sparkle shirt for you guys today. Okay. Nice and positive, hopeful.
Orange Shem.
Throat chakra color.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to be popping over to Grateful Goddesses. Here's the link if you want to join us. It's headed by Karen Pulver. She is a fabulous goddess, and she has excellent guests on every week. And you can look her up at gratefulgoddesses.com. Okay. So all of our best to you. Thank you for coming, and we send you our love.